Well, hello there, all you interesting creatures of the internet. Welcome back to the Fernando Alonso career mode, and he's currently in 6th position with 48 World Championship points, and Lewis Hamilton is currently in the lead with 135. Yes, 135. Anyway, as you can see from our research and development table, we are currently second from last in our simulated Minardi car. And you can also see we've got some development parts done. We've got some engine power, we've got some new spark plugs and some durability options for the internal combustion engine, which, as you can see, is not looking very good at the moment, but it's still only 29% wear overall. So anyway, we move on to the next Grand Prix now, and it's France. And oh god, not France. Oh mon dieu. Anyway, before we move on, you can see that development parts have been now completed and all done. So now it's raining. Now it's bloody raining in France. I don't believe it, but that's only for practice, I think. No, it's for qualifying as well. It is absolutely pissing down, and we're on full wets, everyone. Yes, Fernando Alonso is on full wet conditions in the rain in France, which is a circuit which is unfamiliar to Fernando. Of course, he's done no testing here because he didn't really know that he was coming back for the 2019 season. No, he thought he's retired, but no, we brought him back, and here he is. And 4th position at the moment for Fernando Alonso. Wowzers. That's fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Anyway, just 2 minutes and 45 seconds left of qualifying. And oh my goodness gracious, bloody good gold. He's down to 20th place, yes, last position for Fernando Alonso at the moment in the rain in France. Not the rain in Spain, no, the rain in France. But can he improve on that position as he's just about to cross the line for the final time? There's only 2 minutes and 25 seconds left to qualify now. It's absolutely raining cats, dogs, aunties, Cornish pasties, sausage rolls and jam tarts. Yes, jam tarts as well. It's absolutely pissing down. It's just a typical day in England, really. But anyway, we cross the line. Is he going to complete a lap higher than last place? And yes, 19th. 19th place then for Fernando Alonso. Oh my goodness. Anyway, let's go to the runners and riders and see how they did. Okay, so in 1st position for the race in France, oh my goodness, it's Pierre Gasly. 2nd place for Valtteri Bottas, 3rd for Sebastian Vettel, 4th for Charles Leclerc. In 5th position, it's Max Verstappen, 6th for Lewis Hamilton, 7th for Romain Grosjean, 8th for Daniel Ricciardo, 9th for Lando Norris, 10th for Lucas Weber, 11th it's Carlos Sainz, 12th for Devon Butler, 13th for Kimi Raikkonen, 14th for Sergio Perez, 15th for Kevin Magnussen. Oh god, I've lost it again. Anyway, 19th for Fernando Alonso. Once again, then it's time for the 5 lights to go out on the Fernando Alonso career mode, and we say go, 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 and it's away he goes from 19th on the grid. He's got George Russell just off to the right-hand side of him, as you can see, in the Williams. Just to Williams as we go into turn 1. This is going to get very, very close, and of course, Fernando Alonso tries for a dive bomb there, but didn't all the cones are going everywhere, but he didn't quite manage to get past cars. He does manage to get past, I think that's Sergio Perez, is it? No, Perez is in front of us. It was Lance Stroll, so it's another dive, I think, for Fernando, but there's just no room for Fernando Alonso to get past. There's his teammate, of course, Alexander Albon in the fellow Toro Rosso car, and he does a switchback manoeuvre down the inside of 2 cars there, I think, up into 15th place now for Fernando Alonso. Wowzers, absolute wowzer. Next target is Kevin Magnussen, and of course the Haas car in 14th position. Sergio Perez now down to 16th, but he doesn't seem to be making any inroads, and as I say that, Sergio Perez now re-overtakes Fernando Alonso, and we've got no DRS, don't forget, so he's doing this on pure power alone. Oh my goodness, this is not looking good for Fernando Alonso at all here, as he gets the position back though, so still in 15th place. But what has happened to Fernando Alonso's Toro Rosso car? He seems to be going along at a snail's pace. It really doesn't look like he's going to... Oh my goodness, I'm just looking at the mini screen now, and once again Sergio Perez is making a move on Fernando Alonso and gets past, so he's down to 16th place now, 16th position. Well, it may be because of his unfamiliarity with the circuit, and contact with Sergio Perez. He almost goes round. Double contact, but he's okay. Sergio's still in front, Fernando Alonso still in 16th, and Alexander Albon, teammate, still behind in 17th, which is about to complete lap 1. Wow, that was, Jesus Christ, no, down the inside he goes, down the inside does Fernando Alonso. He wasn't going to stay behind Sergio Perez there in that Racing Point car, and he's back into 15th place, but I think Sergio Perez is fighting back once again. He dives down the inside of Fernando Alonso, and he gets the place back. This is going to get tight, very, very tight. A little bit of a squeeze, more squeezing, but yes, Sergio Perez has done it, I do believe. He's pushing him off to the... Oh dear. But once again, and he has to brake very, very late there, does Fernando Alonso, to try and get past Sergio Perez, but once again he manages to hold on to this place, and once again Fernando Alonso desperately tries to get past Sergio Perez. This time he makes it. This time he makes it. Wowzers, absolute wowzers. But just look at what's happening with these cars. Fighting like crazy, of course. These are the midfield runners, so it is pretty expected that they are this far down the field, but it's not expected for Fernando Alonso because he's been doing very, very well so far. There's more contact with the Racing Point. Oh my goodness, wowzers. And is it, oh, it's even more. You see that Fernando almost sort of slid out a little bit there, but he's still hanging on to this position at the moment. But Sergio Perez is now coming up the inside once again of Fernando Alonso. He's going to play, and look at this, I think Lance Stroll's having another go at him as well. Wowzers, he's under real pressure now from both these Racing Point cars. And look, they've got this sort of trolley train going on between them. There's the two Williams there as well, both the Racing Points, and of course his teammate Alexander Albon. Wowzers, absolute wowzers. And unfortunately, as a result of this, the other cars are now clearing off ahead because he's using up all his skills now to try and defend the position that he's got at the moment, which I think is only 16th place. Yes, only 16th position at the moment for Fernando Alonso. He's just about to complete the next lap of this Grand Prix, lap 2, and we go into lap 3 now. We'll go back to the normal camera view and see exactly what's happening behind us as we cross the line, and we can see what's happening. Yes, Fernando Alonso, 15th position for Fernando Alonso, but he's still under pressure from, this time it's Lance Stroll. Yes, Sergio Perez is now ahead. Oh, he was ahead, now he's not ahead. Oh my goodness, the positions are changing like crazy, absolutely changing like crazy. Anyway, Fernando at the moment holds on to 15th place ahead of now Lance Stroll. It is Lance Stroll, yes, so they are swapping positions like crazy, both those Racing Point cars, but Fernando at the moment is holding on to this 15th place, but he's not making any inroads into the car in front of him, which of course is Kevin Magnussen in the Haas car. So this looks like it's going to be quite a disappointing race for Fernando Alonso, but as I said earlier, of course, he's unfamiliar with this circuit because he hasn't driven it before in 2019, because of course he retired last year in 2018. He thought that was it, but it wasn't it, because we brought him back. Fernando Alonso will live on forever. Well, at least until this series finishes anyway. So lap 3 of the Grand Prix. Now in front of us we've got Devon Butler. Devon Butler in, of course, the Renault car in 14th position. So he's obviously been overtaken by the Haas car. So now Fernando Alonso is still desperately trying to catch up to the Renault in front, but he's not making any inroads whatsoever. You can see the huge gap now on the mini-map between Fernando Alonso and Devon Butler in 14th position. He's just using all his skills now just to hold on to this 15th place at the moment, because Lance Stroll is looking very, very leery indeed. Very, very leery in that Racing Point car, trying to get past Fernando and steal this. Well, basically it's a no man's position, isn't it? A no man's position, because it's no World Championship points on offer for 15th place, of course. Anyway, we accelerate forward now to lap 4 of the Grand Prix, and once again we've got pressure from a Racing Point car. I think that was Lance Stroll this time, and this time I think it's Sergio Perez. Well, they're swapping positions. It's like a tag team between both of these cars, and they managed to get past Fernando at the moment. I don't think he's going to be able to catch up to Sergio Perez. I think it's lost for Fernando, to be honest. I think it's lost, and it is, yes. So he's lost one position now to the 16th place in the middle of a Racing Point sandwich for Fernando Alonso. Wow, this is looking very, very disappointing indeed in France for Fernando. Very disappointing. Anyway, we accelerate forward now to lap 5 of the Grand Prix, and once again he's been overtaken under DRS. It's Lance Stroll this time in the Racing Point, and he gets past now, so down to 17th position for Fernando Alonso. He's just ahead of George Russell in a Williams. Yes, a bloody Williams. This is unbelievable scenes. And look at this. George Russell on the mini screen is braking very, very hard because he's trying to get past Fernando Alonso and steal this 17th place as we accelerate forward down to lap 5. A little bit later to lap 5. And once again now George Russell has got past Fernando Alonso under DRS. This is looking absolutely terrible for Fernando Alonso. Absolutely terrible. What the hell is going on? Down to 18th position now for Fernando, but only just ahead of his teammate Alexander Albon, who's also having a very, very poor race in the sister Toro Rosso. I don't know whether it's just that this track doesn't suit the Toro Rosso cars. I've no idea, but at the moment we're doing very, very badly. Anyway, on to lap 7 now. As you can see, we've gone past the pits and cars have come in, so he's made it up into 13th place at the moment. Of course, he's still got to stop, so this is not looking good for Fernando. As we accelerate forward now to lap 7, teammate is now in the pits. Alexander Albon is in the pits, so we go past and make up more positions for Fernando now, past one of the Racing Points as well in the pits. Or in fact, there's quite a few cars in the pit, so up into 6th position now, just behind Pierre Gasly and ahead of Romain Grosjean on lap 8 now. As we accelerate forward now, it's still on lap 8, and Grosjean's just got past Fernando Alonso. Romain Grosjean has just got past Oh my goodness, so he's down to 7th, so he's still doing very, very poorly indeed in this race in France in the Toro Rosso cars. We accelerate forward at the end of lap 8, and it's now time for Fernando Alonso to come in for his pit stop. Finally, he pits from 7th position. He's on the soft tyre at the moment, so he's going to go on to the yellow sidewall, the harder tyre for this race, which of course is the medium tyre. Oh my goodness, and he's dropping positions like flies now. Look, 17-second stop already. He doesn't even come in. Now he comes in. There's a little tweak at the front wing, and he goes on to the yellow sidewall tyres, and he rejoins now. I think it's 18th place. I think it's going to be 18th place. No, it's 19th place now. 19th, just ahead of his teammate Alexander Albon for Fernando Alonso. He rejoins behind Robert Kubica in the Williams. Just the Williams on lap 9. As we accelerate forward now, still on lap 9, as you go, oh my goodness, I don't believe it. Now he's been overtaken by his teammate, Alexander Albon. This is going to be absolutely terrible, and Fernando's not going to have any of his shit, none of his shit. There's contact though with Alexander Albon. He gets a warning for exceeding the track limits, and there's still more contact, double contact there with Alexander Albon, but he's not going to give up this place. Of course, team bragging rights is up for here in this race, and he's going to make sure that Alexander Albon does not get past him. Otherwise, this could look very, very bad in front of the team bosses, of course, because, of course, Fernando Alonso is a world champion and he's not doing very well at the moment. In 2019, as we accelerate forward to lap 10, and once again, Alexander Albon under the DRS gets past, but Fernando Alonso, once again, he's going to go. He's hanging it out to dry. Very, very tight indeed. Does he hang on to it? Yes, he does. And then you can also see it's just starting to rain now as well, which is going to add even more complications. Still 3 laps to go, so hopefully it's not going to rain enough to go onto wets, but I can't see that anyone's going to go onto wet tyres with only 3 laps left in the Grand Prix. I just don't think it's going to chuck down quick enough. Anyway, still hold on to 19th place at the moment for Fernando Alonso as we accelerate forward now to lap 11 of the Grand Prix, and once again Alexander Albon goes past. He's got DRS still, so it's still not raining hard enough to switch off the DRS at the moment. But once again, oh, it's more contact over Fernando and Alexander Albon. Look at this, they're battling like crazy yards, both the teammates here. But it's only for 19th and 20th positions. This is absolutely unbelievable. Yes, just 19th and 20th positions at the moment for the simulated Bernardi cars as we accelerate forward down to lap 12 of the Grand Prix. Just about to start the last lap of the race. And it looks like Fernando Alonso is going to finish in a very, very lowly 18th position. Yes, I think one of the other cars has dropped out of the Grand Prix, so he's made up one position, so he's doing a little bit better, but 18th position is absolutely terrible for Fernando, and he's battling still with his teammate, of course, Alexander Albon in that Toro Rosso car. It is raining even harder now, as you can see. It's coming down pretty hard, but hopefully we're going to be okay until the end of the race. Well, no one now is going to come in for intermediate tyres. There's just no point because the race is almost over. And now the DRS has been disabled, so if we had about 2 more laps of this Grand Prix, we would have had to have come in for some intermediate tyres, and you can see that Fernando's struggling now. He's struggling for grip because the rain is coming down harder, and has given Alexander Albon to get a run on him down the inside. Valtteri Bottas has won the race, but Albon gets past Fernando Alonso, but he hangs it out to drive around the outside. Can Fernando hold on? Oh, once again, he's crossing it all up going into this S section. Oh, does he hold on? I think he does. Yes, he does. So holds on to 18th position for Fernando Alonso. Alexander Albon has now dropped back, in fact, dropped back a little bit. So that's good news for Fernando Alonso. So the race is over, everyone. Robert Kubica finished in 17th position, and Fernando Alonso, it looks like he's going to cross the line in a very, very, very disappointing 18th place. Oh my goodness, just ahead of his teammate Alexander Albon. Just a few more corners to go then. We've got a tight left here and then a sweeping right hand corner, and then that's the end of the Grand Prix, everyone. I think it is. No, wait a minute. We've got two more corners to go, I think. Yes, here we go. Another left hand corner, and then now we go to the final right hander. Yes, there's the pit entrance, of course, and then it's the end of the Grand Prix, and Fernando Alonso is going to finish in 18th position. Oh my goodness. Well, I'd like to hear what he's going to say about that.
GP2 engine. GP2.
Oh, cock. And there is, of course, Mr. What's his name? I've forgotten it now. The Terminator. Is your name Zerlakana? Toto Wolff, of course. There's Valtteri Bottas on the top step of the podium. And Fernando's not very happy at the moment about his GP2 engine. And unfortunately, as I'm the team mechanic, that all falls down to me. Yes, that all falls down to me. And there is Lucas Weber, who finished in 7th place in the Alfa Romeo racing car. So on to the podium celebrations now. As you can see, there is Valtteri on the top step, and there's Charles Leclerc in 2nd place and Sebastian Vettel in 3rd position. Fantastic. Fantastic. Time for the champagne spraying over everyone. Yes, go on lads, go on. Yes, fantastic. Whew, wow, that was exciting, but not for Fernando, unfortunately. So let's have a look at the points now and see where we are. There's the race results. Valtteri Bottas, of course, won the race, and now you can see that in the driver standings, Fernando Alonso is still in 7th place with 48 points. He's actually gone down a little bit there. And there's the other runners and riders. And let's go now to the Constructors' Championship and see exactly where Fernando Alonso is currently standing. And he's in 4th place with, of course, 48 World Championship points. Anyway, it's time now before we move on to negotiate our contract. Now, of course, we are going to stay with Toro Rosso until the midway point of the season. Then we're going to move on to Renault. So, on to the next Grand Prix, and it's Austria. Wow, fantastic. Always love the Austrian circuit. Anyway, as you can see, we've had some driver moves. Roman Grosjean is moving to Red Bull and replacing Gasly, and Pierre Gasly is moving to Haas to replace Roman Grosjean. Wowzers. Absolute wowzers. Anyway, as you can see from our vehicle management, our internal combustion engine is now looking pretty dodgy. It's already gone yellow, so I think we're going to fit a new one for the next Grand Prix, because after that Grand Prix we are not doing very well. Not doing very well indeed. So now we've got our 2,000 resource points, of course, so we're going to do some more development upgrades. We need some more gearbox durability, because that's not doing very well. And of course we're going to just see what else we can do to the car. So we move on then to Austria for the A1 Circuit Grand Prix, and we're just having a look through qualifying now and see exactly where Fernando Alonso is going to finish out at the moment. Weber is currently in the lead, and oh my goodness, no he isn't, because Fernando Alonso is just put in pole position. Wowzers, this is real hero to zero, or should I say zero to hero time after the last race as we accelerate forward now. Just 4 minutes left of the qualifying session. Fernando Alonso still in 5th position, but can he improve on that time as he's about to cross the line? And the answer is going to be a resounding no, but it's still 5th position. Anyway, after all that, in the end he finished in 7th place. Wowzers. That's a pretty respectable position in our simulated Minardi car. So let's have a look at the final runs and riders. And in 1st place, it's Lewis Hamilton. 2nd place for Valtteri Bottas. In 3rd position, it's Sebastian Vettel. 4th for Devon Butler. In 5th position, it's Fernando Alonso. 6th for Kevin Magnussen. 7th for Max Verstappen. He's got a penalty. 8th for... Oh, I've lost it. I've lost it already, lads. I've lost it already. Oh, Lucas Weber's in 12th. 14th for Kimi Raikkonen. 15th for Sergio Perez. George Russell's in there. Look, they've all got bloody penalties. That's the trouble. All got bloody penalties. Anyway, here we go then. It's time for the 5 lights to go out once again from 5th position for Fernando Alonso, and we say go, 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 and it's away he goes. Devon Butler's just off to the right hand side. You can see as we're going to go into turn 1. Hamilton in the lead as we go into turn 1, and it looks like a dive from Fernando Alonso. Look at that, he just slots himself in. It's like taking candy from a baby once again, straight up into 3rd position for Fernando Alonso. Wow, this is such a change of fortunes after the last race. It really is. He's definitely going from zero to hero here. He's just behind both the Mercedes. Oh, yellow flag, something's going on. Green flag now, green flag. Oh, I don't know what's going on there, but it's okay. We resume the race in 3rd position. Kevin Magnussen is still behind us now in 4th position in that Haas car, and we've got Valtteri Bottas ahead of the Mercedes, but I think both the Mercedes dynamic duo are of course going to pull away from us, because I don't think we've got the horsepower to catch up to them in this Toro Rosso car. So just coming through this sort of quite complicated section of the Austrian circuit as we go underneath the Fanatec sign. Yes, the Fanatec sign. I bet there's loads of you out there that have got Fanatec steering wheels, haven't you? I bet you sit there polishing them every night, don't you? I bet you sit there polishing. Anyway, let's move on now. End of lap 1, going to lap 2. Fastest lap, of course, for Lewis Hamilton, who's in the lead. So as you can see, we're under real pressure now from that Haas car behind. In fact, there's quite a few cars, as you can see, trying to get past Fernando Alonso as he climbs up the hill on lap 2. Underneath the Pirelli sign now. And let's see if he manages to hold off as the sparks go flying from this Husk car. Well, at the moment he has to brake. Look at the brake ducts, absolutely glowing, white hot there, white hot for Fernando Alonso, as he had to brake very, very sharp into that right-hander there. Oh my goodness. So still holding off from this Husk car at the moment. He's doing very, very well in this race, but can he hold on for some serious World Championship points? Well, we will find out a little bit later into the Grand Prix, of course. It always is down to the pit stop strategy and what position we gain or lose when we come out of the pits, and that basically dictates the race. Well, it dictates every single race, I have to say. So just about to complete lap 2 now for Fernando Alonso, still just holding off the Husk car, but he's getting very, very close now to the back of Fernando Alonso. There you can see Kevin Magnussen. I think he's going to try for a cheeky dive down the inside. No, it's okay. Fernando Alonso just holding on to his third place now, third position as he climbs up the hill once again. But once again, yes, this time he's gone to the inside, has Kevin Magnussen. But Fernando Alonso is going to have the tighter line, but he's going to brake very, very hard indeed. Can he get it round? Yes, he does. So still holding on to this third place. Valtteri Bottas is now away and gone in the Mercedes, unfortunately. As you can see, there's a huge gap now between the two cars, because once again, Fernando Alonso is having to defend instead of actually attacking, because he's trying to stop the car from behind from going past. But that does slow you down, actually. It does slow you down, and you haven't got the pace to try and catch up to the car in front of you. So this is almost the end of lap 3 now. Still holding on to this podium. It could be a podium, lads, at the end. I'm not quite sure if it will be, but it could be for Fernando Alonso, with Valtteri Bottas way out in front now. In fact, he's very, very close to Lewis Hamilton. They're having a right ding-dong battle, as they always do in front at the moment. So this is the end of lap 3 for Fernando Alonso. He holds on to third place ahead of Kevin Magnussen, as we now go into this very, very tight right-hander, and K-Mag is trying to sneak round the outside of Fernando, but he holds on once again to this third place as we now climb up the hill. And once again, Kevin, well, we've got two cars now. We've got one of the Renaults as well. I'm not quite sure who that is, but two cars now trying to get past Fernando as he brakes very, very hard once again on lap 4. But he's still holding on to this podium position. It's Devon Butler in the Renault. It's Devon Butler behind us in that Renault. In fact, he's got past Kevin Magnussen. In fact, yes, he has. So now he's the car behind us as we accelerate forward down to lap 5. So here comes Devon Butler. He's going to try and sneak down the inside of us. As you can see, as we brake very, very late. Look, the brake this. Oh, look at that. Devon Butler jumps over the curb there, and he actually loses momentum. He loses momentum, which allows Fernando Alonso to hold on to this podium at the moment. Wowzers. Absolute wowzers. Yes, so jumping off over the curbs does actually impede your progress. And as you can see, once again, though, Fernando has to go very, very wide to try and avoid Devon Butler, but he manages to hold on at the moment, as you can see, to third position. But I don't know for how much longer, because the cars behind are like very, very angry bees as we accelerate forward out to lap 6. And now we've got K-Mag. K-Mag has got past Devon Butler in the Husk car. He's going for a move down the inside of Fernando. He's going to have to tuck it in very, very tight once again. Oh, yes, he does it, though. He does it. Wowzers. So he's still in a podium position as we accelerate forward now to lap 8 of the clock. We've got yellow flag, oh my goodness. And it looks like, well, what is going on here? And as we can see from a replay, one of the Renaults has blown up. I think that's Devon Butler. I think that is Devon Butler as he tries to climb the hill. And let's have a look for another replay angle of, yes, it is Devon Butler. And you can see there's cars going past him all over the show. And oh my goodness, there's contact though. And that's one of the Red Bulls. And I do believe that is Roman Grosjean, who has replaced Pierre Gasly for this race. So this is his first race in the Red Bull, and he crashes straight into the back of Devon Butler in the Renault. Let's have another look now, and you can see Butler's climbing up the hill, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Roman Grosjean goes straight into the back. Well, it's not an auspicious debut for the driver there in the Red Bull. Anyway, we accelerate forward out to lap 9 of the Grand Prix, and Alonso is still just holding on to this third place. We've got Vettel and we've got Leclerc now trying desperately to get past. Wowzers, and still this podium from Fernando Alonso. But he's on lap 10 and he's still holding on to this third position. Yes, third position for Alonso as we accelerate forward now to lap 11. Teammate has come into the pits, which means now Fernando Alonso on lap 11 has got into second place. Yes, just behind Lulu as we accelerate forward at the end of lap 11. But now, of course, it's time for him to come into his pit stop. This is going to be the most important stop. How many places is Fernando Alonso going to lose as he comes in from second place? Well, already he's lost one to Valtteri Bottas, but that was only to be expected. He changes from the red sidewall tyre onto the yellow sidewall tyre, the harder tyre or the soft tyre for, of course, this race. Oh my goodness, hold the phone everyone. I think he's going to rejoin in a podium position as he comes around the corner. There's cars going past though, I do believe, and one of them's Maxi Boy in the Red Bull, and he goes past under DRS. But is Fernando Alonso going to do one of his classic dive bomb manoeuvres down the inside of Maxi Boy Verstappen and get this podium back? Oh, look at this, he has to brake very, very hard as Maxi Boy to avoid getting hit by Fernando, but there was contact, but only a tiny little bit. And yes, Fernando Alonso gets back into third position. He's on for a podium on lap 12 as we accelerate forward now to lap 13 of the Grand Prix. And as you can also see, once again, Maxi Boy Verstappen is trying to get past, and he goes round. Max Verstappen has gone round. Oh my goodness. On lap 13 there was a tiny bit of contact there as it went into the first turn, but Maxi Boy has gone round as we accelerate forward to lap 14 the Grand Prix. Still third for Alonso, but this time now we've got Sebastian Vettel under DRS going past. But look at this, Fernando's going to dive. Oh, he goes very, very wide though. Look at this, almost out, right out onto the circuit limits there. Oh my goodness, but there's more contact as he climbs up the hill now from Sebastian Vettel, but they're still just holding on. Pierre Gasly, of course, is right behind now as well. Oh my goodness, he's actually having a very, very good race in his debut for his new team. Anyway, we accelerate forward to lap 17, just going into the last lap of the race, lap 18 for Fernando Alonso, and I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed because I think he's going to finish this race in third place. Yes, third position for Fernando Alonso. As we climb up the hill for the final time in this Grand Prix, Hamilton's still way out in front, of course, in second place, so that must mean that Valtteri Bottas is in the lead at the moment. Wow, he's doing very, very well indeed. So we now dip down the hill of this last sort of section of the Grand Prix, past those grandstands right out in the background there. Look at them, look, they're quite a way away from the circuit, aren't they, those grandstands? Anyway, so we turn the corner now, just about 3 or 4 more corners to go, and it's the end of the Grand Prix, and it looks like Fernando Alonso, after the disappointment of the last race, is going to finish in a podium position, as Valtteri Bottas does indeed cross the line and win the race. Fernando Alonso looks like he's going to get a podium finish as we go once again underneath the Fanatec sign. And is he going to do it? Just a few more corners to go now. In fact, just one more corner to go. He's just got to get past. Yes, I don't think Vettel's got any chance of getting past now. And he crosses the line in third place. Wowzers. Fantastic. Well, I bet Fernando's well happy about that. I bet he's well happy about that. And so there once again is Toto Wolff congratulating his team mechanics on such a wonderful job. Such a wonderful job indeed. And there is the race winner, Valtteri Bottas, in the Mercedes, of course. Well done, Valtteri. You beat Lulu. And there's those team mechanics once again. Yes. Alright, lads. Hot tub later? Oh, yeah, of course we will. Of course we will. And getting out of his car now is Sebastian Vettel, who finished just behind us in 4th position. So here he is then, up onto the podium. Here is Fernando Alonso. Yes, third place for Fernando. I have to say, Fernando looks really good these days. You can see that the surgery has done wonders to him. Look, he looks at least 10 years younger, doesn't he? 10 years younger does Fernando Alonso. Anyway, so it's time to spray that champagne over everyone. Look at it. Yeah, go on. Come on, Fernando. Get in on the champagne spray. I don't know where he's gone. Oh, he's just gone off screen, actually. There he is. But fantastic result for Fernando Alonso in third place. So there's the race results, and he's now 104 points behind Lewis Hamilton. 104 points behind with 63 World Championship points now. Fantastic. Lulu way out in front, of course, with 167 World Championship points. And in the Constructors, he's in 4th position. Well, there you go. I'd just like to say thanks so much for watching, everyone. You've been awesome as always. And as always, there will of course be more later.